welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing the reverse transformation for MPM7 Masterpiece Movie Bumblebee. So, setting them off to the side because we're going to take care of the weapons. So, if you missed the original video where I showed how to plug these in, I suggest you go watch that. But if you want to watch the reverse transformation, then I suggest you watch the video on how to combine the weapons. So first, take this tab, plug it into this slot right here. And then you take the battle mask. And then that should plug on right here. The instructions tell you to have it like this, but it's too loose. So what I recommend doing is just plugging it on here. And now you're just gonna take this whole assembly, set it off to the side, and let us begin. So, let's go down. So, to make it easier to transform the legs, you're just going to want to rotate the whole waist 180 degrees. And before we transform the legs, take the arms. You're going to want to leave the thumbs out because if you don't, you're going to have to do forcing. And you might not want to force it because you probably won't want to break it. But if you want to break it, go ahead. Force it as much as you want. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to orient the arm like this. So now I'm going to show you how to do it. So just collapse the fingers in. Collapse the fingers in, leave the thumb out. Fold the hand in. Fold this section out. Rotate this around. And then we have an arm all done. Now, take these door sections, extend them. Just fold these back, fold these sections back, rotate the arms up, and just fold them back as far as they'll go. Okay, and that is how you should have the arms. Now coming down to the legs, I'm just gonna undo this section right here, undo this. This all should come out, fold out the wheel, extend this section down like so. Fold this die cast section up. It is die cast because it's cold to the touch. Take this, collapse that in, fold this little gray section up. It'll be easier with the light. Okay, so take the heel, collapse it in, fold all this in, and all of this should just sit in the little groove that should sit in the little groove where the wheel used to be. Then fold the toe up. Then come to this side right here. You're just going to want to make sure that, now, it took me a while to figure this out, but the trick is to have this little black section to go into this little groove like so. And there we have a leg all done. Now we're going to do it on the other. Now let's do it on the other side. Yep, the legs are, I just had to check and see if the legs were even with each other. When you first do the transformation, it can be a little fiddly, but once you get the hang of it, it should be very smooth. Should be very smooth and simple once you get the hang of it. Okay, now we have the legs all done. So if you made it this far in the transformation without losing your mind, I'm proud of you. Then you're just going to want to join the legs together. Now that's one of the more tricky parts of the transformation, is getting the legs to clip in together. But once, if you do it right, just everything should just go, should just fit nicely. Then you're gonna want to rotate the waist again. Again, make sure that these two little armatures are pushed in together as far as they go. Now we're gonna work on the back section. So take this, fold it out, fold this down, and then take this, and there is a little clear tab that this slot will go into. Go. There's a door wing all done. Do it on the other side. And then okay, and once you're done with that, you're gonna take all of this and just fold this up like so. Now, the instructions tell you to, well, I mean, what I like to do is I like to leave the top of the roof collapsed, because I've seen some people do it like this and it kind of makes it harder. So, for the sake of making things simple, you're just going to want to keep this collapsed down. Sorry if I can't get all of this in frame. This is a very complex transformation. Then you're going to want to take these arms and just untab them, swing them around, and they should peg in together. And then I don't know how well you can see this, but there is a peg and a slot on here that the corresponding peg and slot on there will join the arms together. So just snap that in. There we go. And now, I don't know how well you can see this, but you can see that there's a tiny little circular port, and then there's a tiny little peg that those ports will go into. So, and then you're just going to want to take this and just make sure it sits in that groove. Tab these little gray sections in, and then there are little grooves for the hands to sit in. Now, so the trick of the transformation, if you don't want to force anything, just make sure that there are no gaps in between this section and this section. Just make sure there are no gaps there. Now let's come. Okay, so now that is the hard part done. So now everything should be pretty simple. So you're gonna want to take the head, fold it out, extend it on this double hinge, fold this down, and just put that into place. And take this section, fold it forward, take the faux bumper pieces, fold them under. Then you're going to want to spread out the real bumper. There we go. Then take this, just plug that in, and then these two headlight sections should tab in on these little gray tabs. Okay, and there you go. So that is part of the car all done. Now, you want to take, okay, now this section is in a black plastic, so I don't know how well you can see this, but there's a little circular port right here. There's a little circular port there that this little tab right here will plug it into. So you're just going to want to make sure that is all nice and plugged in. And you're going to want to take, hold on a second, I think I messed something up. Nope, I didn't. Okay, so then you're going to want to take this section, just raise it up just a teeny little bit so that you have enough clearance to push this section in, and then just tap it in. There we go. Now do it on the other side. There we go, and that is basically the front of the car all done. So now what we're going to do is you're going to want to take this tab and just feed it into that little slot there. There we go. And then you just line everything up. Okay, I think I did something. What did I do? False alarm. Okay, so once you got that all tabbed in, there's a little clear tab that should just go right into here. There we go. And then just tab that in. There we go. And that is one side of the car all done. Now do it on the other side. Alright. There we go. And those are both sides all done. And last thing, well, actually, the second and last step is just plug this on. There we go. And then take, and on the back you can see there are two little pegs that, on this assembly there are two little ports, and that will just plug into it. There we go. And that is basically the Masterpiece Movie Series Bumblebee in his car mode. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, now let me just set this box off to the side. And now let's set up the studio for my next review. Oh, we're still recording.